Hey, how y'all doing? Uncle Mike here at Junks Automotive. Just was out here looking at this old Cadillac. It is a 1962 Cadillac. And I got to thinking, how old was this car when I was born? You know, was it still running around, driving around? So it was a 9-year-old used car when I was born. Back then, 9 years old, it probably got parked somewhere or driven. It's hard to say. It only had 62,000 miles on it, original miles when I got it. So I believe it sat a lot. Got it from my buddy Ralph that owns the MGA. He bought it from an auction. I'm pretty sure, well, I know it was wrecked a lot. Had a 61 fender on it, a 61 door, different color. The driver's door was black at one point. Been through a lot. So it's an old car that now is fixed up, welded up, patched. This much of the whole entire car, around the whole car on the bottom. Tops of both fenders, behind both headlights on both sides. She was pretty beat. Well, now she gets to live the good life. Took care of, cleaned. It needs cleaned again, but cleaned once, twice a year. Inside storage. Driven on nice days. And you know, people appreciate her. That's what I thought was interesting. When you're a kid, a younger person, you spend a lot of time not feeling appreciated. I did. Now, believe it or not, I feel quite appreciated. Not quite living the easy life yet. I like to work too much for that to happen, probably ever. But getting old something. Getting older. I think I'm just getting old. Feel it in my body, my hands. My hands don't do things I used to be able to do with them. Little bolts, and used to be able to curl around, and I was always the kid with the skinny fingers. Well, now they're not so skinny. Get up there and get that bolt started for me, and I'd like nothing to it. And I'm still kind of like that, but not like I used to be. I've gave my blood and my sweat and a whole lot of my tears to the automotive industry for a lot of years. 35 of them, to be exact, this month. 35 years this month. So now I've kind of found a way to make things easier on myself and give me a little bit of easier way to go. And that's what I'm doing on a daily basis. Because I feel like I deserve it. Now, the younger guys may not think I deserve it. They think I should do the same work that they do, and I can. Sometimes I do. But my passion is not that. You guys know what my passion is. And playing music, and fishing, spending time with the kiddo and the wife. But I've realized as I get older, or getting old, I appreciate things like that. I could work till midnight at work. They'd let me, for sure. They let me work every Saturday for months on end. And this is stuff I've done before. Not at this particular place, but when I was younger, I'd go in at 5 o'clock, leave at 8 o'clock, go in at 5 o'clock in the morning, leave at 8 o'clock at night. Make oodles of money. And it wasn't worth it. Because all I did was give that money to somebody else for something. I didn't have anything to show for it. I was too young to appreciate it. He knows things about your body. He knows things about your mind. Most of the time, older is wiser. I think it is in my case. I've lost a lot of friends from when I was younger. People I really looked up to, people I really learned a lot from. And they're no longer with me. But what they passed along was their wisdom. And I always think about him. Old Harry McDaniel. He was like my grandpa. Hired me right out of high school and put me to work. Boy, you're still wet behind the ears. You can't be working on stuff like that. I don't think you should be working on stuff like that. What do you mean, Harry? Well, you're still wet behind the ears. I'm like, what's that mean? He said, damn it, because you were just born. He was a good old man, and I loved him to death. Hubert Ratcliffe, same way. We were very, very close friends for a really long time. I still had in contact once every 1 or 2 years. We'd talk. And luckily, the last time that he had called me, he'd spent a lot of time not being very lucid, if that makes any sense, for various reasons. I think, anyway. But he was very sharp. He was excited, happy about life, and doing good. And I believe it was the next year or so, maybe 2 years after that, I'd send him a text message, or I'd send him pictures of the kids, stuff like that. And he'd always call me because he wouldn't text me back. He's, I don't know how to do that stuff. But he would get it, he'd be able to read it. And I never heard back from him. So about a month ago, I thought, well, I need to call him. He never did call me back. I need to check on him. And it was one night before I went to bed, something told me I should probably Google his name first. Well, he'd passed away and I didn't know it. We didn't have enough common friends, or at least his family would have known who I was. They didn't know where I lived or how to get a hold of me. But, I know what Hubert would have said. That's okay. You're with your family, and that's where you should have been. But, So this old Cadillac got me to thinking about some stuff. My dad lived till he was 70. I had quite the relationship with him. He was a very intricate person. But he taught me a lot about life and a lot about fishing. And there's a lot of things that I do this day and think about him. Having a drink once in a while, he taught me that too. So as you're getting older, you get to appreciating a whole lot more than you did when you're younger, especially people. I'm too old to have a 7-year-old, but I'm very fortunate and blessed, however you want to look at it and call it, because I wouldn't change it for the world. I can appreciate watching her grow on a daily basis. And all these years and the kids I've had, especially my boys, I love them to death. I love them dearly. I fought to be with them and fought to have time with them and fought for them. I fought for them sometimes, but I didn't get to watch them grow on a daily basis. That's why I spend a lot of time at home, as much as I can. I used to be the carouser type and always wanted to run around and go fishing for 3 days straight and not come back home. I have a hard time doing that nowadays. So yeah, I'm trying to dial things back a little bit with the working situation and work on the kind of work that I want to work on, the work I have passion for. You kids are a part of that passion. Old Cadillacs, old cars, old Chevys, old MGAs that don't even belong to me. That is my passion. And finally, after all these years, I've figured out that the most important thing, believe it or not, is for me to be happy. Can't make anybody happy till you are. With yourself, with your life, with what you do for a living. I was in management for a while. I thought, well, that'll make me happy, and there's a lot of ways it did. But in the ways that it didn't, it just ate my insides out. It truly did hurt me. Because I was old enough to start having such empathy for people. It was hard to make the decisions I had to make. Getting older. What's getting older to you? Are you the kind of kid that says, "Yeah, you're only old as you think you are," which I agree with, or the kid that says, "Don't let the old man in, don't let him in"? Well, I'm kind of all those, but I'm also realizing you don't always have tomorrow. I've seen some really horrible things happen to some of the best people that I know. And all of a sudden there wasn't tomorrow. So I plan and work for tomorrow. I work for a better tomorrow for myself, for that way everybody around me is happier. But I'm working really hard on just living for today, right now. The wife and the little one's gone, doing gymnastic classes, I think. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't be on here. I'd wait till they got busy, then I'd come out, talk to you kids for a little while. So there's no real moral to the story. I just hope that most of you, if you haven't already, you already know what it's like to get old. It's not all bad, I don't think. So hey, we'll see you Sunday. Speaking of old, there's an old MGA in there that needs wet sanded down and buffed. Make it look a little bit better. Old Cadillacs. This Cadillac will have a new home here for too long. We'll make sure you guys see it. Junk out.